Welcome to the 1998 Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade. Karen, it is a little wet here on Northdale Boulevard, but certainly has not affected the size of the crowd out here. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Erickson along with Karen Savanich, and it's time for another parade.
It is, Steve, and as you mentioned, it is raining, and everybody brought their umbrella, but the streets are lined. People are on both sides, 2 and 3 deep, so it's going to be a nice night for a parade.
It should be, and last year was a little bit cool. I remember people in sweaters and they had blankets out here, but this year it's kind of humid out, but now we have the rain, so I don't know which is better.
Well, I'm so glad you were prepared and brought along an umbrella.
We do have one, so in case it starts pouring out here, we'll be set. But coming up here, we have the Coon Rapids Police. They are leading off this parade.
Well, and bringing you the parade today, we have 3 cameras working hard, so we should have some great shots for the audience. Tell me about this one, Steve.
This is the American Legion 334 Color Guard. Their director is Al Michaels. Usually at the beginning of the parade.
It says here they've been together for 15 years. And of course, we have to have the flags to lead off the parade. Well, Coon Rapids Police Vehicle number 11 is tossing out candy. That's always a crowd favorite.
They do, and the kids are diving for it, certainly.
And the American Legion Post 334 provided their color guard for us today.
Everybody is standing here on our side of the roadway as the American flag and the color guard comes by. We should mention that the parade is brought to you in part by the Lions Club of Coon Rapids. Do a great job organizing this event every year in conjunction with the Coon Rapids firefighters.
So the parade always kicks off the weekend of fun over the 4th of July, and the carnival is all set up, ready for all these people to converge on it after the parade.
It is, and they usually head right down to Sand Creek Park after the parade. And games, food, entertainment, 2 bands are out there for 2 nights, and of course, on the 4th of July, we have fireworks at 10 p.m. The Coon Rapids American Legion Auxiliary number 334 Color Guard just passed us. Coming up next is the Coon Rapids High School Cardinal Marching Band. Their director is Paul Buddy. The Coon Rapids High School Marching Cardinals are proud to represent their school and community through their marching band program. Under the direction of Paul Buddy, the organization continues to build from only 36 members 2 decades ago. Last year, the Cardinals took 2nd place in Class A at the Eden Prairie Marching Festival, one of the biggest field show competitors in the state. Over the course of their fall season, the group won awards for Outstanding Color Guard and Outstanding Horn Line, in addition to winning Outstanding Drum Majors 2 times.
Well, Steve, let's sit back and listen to the Coon Rapids Marching Cardinals.
And that was the Coon Rapids High School Marching Band, and the Marching Cardinals wish to extend their thanks to their parent support group, their administration, and everyone else involved in making the organization work. Certainly this unit right here helps them get to all the events that they have to go to.
That's right. It wouldn't be a high school band without their support vehicles. A couple things I liked about this band. First of all, the color guard had both boys and girls in it, so I thought that was interesting. And also they did a push to the audience where the band split directions and pushed towards the audience on either side of the street. That's always a crowd favorite as well.
They've certainly been practicing that for some time now.
And coming up next is our parade grand marshal this year. It's Lowell Lubeck, and Lowell is a city employee. What is his title, by the way, Steve?
He is the city forester for Coon Rapids, so does a lot of work with the city parks and keeping all that up to date.
Well, that's great. I know he works real hard and he's real dedicated to the city, so that's nice to let him be the grand marshal this year.
It is. We usually have a celebrity grand marshal, but this year we have an official from the city throwing out candy to the crowd, and they're doing a good job of catching it, finding their way to all the pieces that are left uncaught on the street.
I saw Lowell's family was here earlier, so they're nice and dedicated in supporting him in his parade route tonight. Oh, that's nice. He's waving to us.
You usually do. You got to keep that arm ready for this whole parade route. We could mention that the parade winds out of Sand Creek Park on 113th Avenue, turns north onto Kumquat Street for about a block or two, and then winds out here west on Northdale Boulevard. I'd say the parade route's about a mile or two in length. They wind back into the park.
And coming up next is our own Coon Rapids float. This is certainly a good-looking unit. It's designed to resemble the spirit of Coon Rapids. As you can see, it's trimmed in red and silver metallic floral sheeting and highlighted with the playful raccoon and our own Miss Coon Rapids, Paige Swenson.
And this is a new design this year. They've been working on this for some time, and they have it out here. You can see there, that is our newly crowned, actually it's not newly anymore, it's been about 5 months. Paige Swenson has been Miss Coon Rapids, holding an umbrella up there.
Okay, maybe I can
some of the rain.
quickly do the names here. Tiny Todd for Miss Coon Rapids, Amanda Claremont. First Princess, Jennifer Rathsack. Tiny Tot Commander, Christopher Barrett. The Vice Commodore is Brandon Peterson. Amber Brown is Junior Miss Coon Rapids. Nicole Anderson is her First Princess. And Dustin Wright is the Junior Commodore. And of course, also we have Miss Coon Rapids Paige Swenson and our Coon Rapids mascot, Snowflake Raccoon. Stephanie Jones, of course, is the director of that float.
Coming up next, we have the Coon Rapids Daycare Center Twirlers. Another program was established by the Coon Rapids Daycare Center in the summer of 1996. All the members of this performance group are students or alumni of the Coon Rapids Daycare Center at the Coon Rapids Methodist Church. Now, the Twirlers are taught by former Coon Rapids resident Stephanie Olson. They participate in 2 or 3 parades annually and various shows throughout the year. The group captains are Emily Dean, I believe, and Amber Brown.
Just can't get much cuter than that, Steve.
No, and they're having a good time, it looks like. Looks like coming up next, we have Mayor Bill Thompson and his wife, Shirley.
Bill's term is running out in November when we will have our election and we'll have a new mayor crowned for the city of Coon Rapids. He has decided not to seek re-election, saying he's going to be retiring and spending more time with his family.
And there's Ron Gageby, council member at large, and Dave Saunders, who is council member Ward 4.
They're going to throw candy this way. Whoa!
We almost just got bombarded with that.
Oh, Tootsie Rolls even.
Almost caught a piece there.
That's great.
And here's Congressman Bill Luther.
He's got approximately 15 volunteers walking with him today, handing out stickers. And he says they are dedicated staff members. Luther's in his second term in Congress, and he was first elected back in 1994.
Not uncommon to see that in the parade. A lot of people seeking election in the summer parades. Coming up next here, we have the Coon Rapids Fire Department units. And this is the pumper truck. would be Tanker 1, located at fire station number 1. Carries 1,250 gallons of water, a 1,500 gallon portable tank, and has 250 gallons per minute. Passing us behind that is another truck, and Rescue 1, I believe, is in the center of your screen there. Rescue 1 is used to respond to emergencies and accidents. It is one of 3 rescue units used by the department. It's located at Station 1. All 3 trucks have a 300-gallon water tank, carry hydraulic rescue tools, and high low-pressure airbags to help in rescue operations throughout the city. And coming up right behind that is grass number 2, out of fire station number 2. And the department operates 2 Jeeps which routinely respond to grass and brush fires. A little easier to get into some of those areas where those grass fires start.
That's right.
Right behind that is the Safe Escape House. The Safe Escape House is a great tool for teaching all ages of the importance of working smoke detectors, sleeping with the bedroom doors closed, developing and participating in 2 escape routes from every room, crawling low in smoke, and identifying hazards. And right behind that is Utility 1.
Well, this whole section of the parade here is dedicated to all the Coon Rapids vehicles, and we certainly have a lot of them. With our growing population, we definitely need these.
We do, and something different is these usually round out the parade, and they are towards the beginning of this year's parade, so I don't know why they decided to do that differently, but we're seeing them in a different place. Right behind that is the Minnesota State Fire Chiefs Association Fast Pace Car. Rather than focus just on fire prevention safety, the car is a model of numerous safe behaviors which we believe reinforces fire safe behavior. The car itself is not an educational tool, rather it is a device used to attract attention. Once an audience is gathered, then the fire safety message is presented.
And we're looking at the Coon Rapids Lions president and his wife, and the past president and his wife. That is certainly a nice looking carriage, and they got the horse pulling him along. It's kind of romantic, huh?
Sets the mood out here on Northdale Boulevard.
And I'm sorry, I'm looking for their names and I just don't have them.
Karen, it feels like it's cooling off a little bit out here.
Feels good, Steve. Uh-oh, more candy incoming.
And that just hit me.
And this is the Coon Rapids Lioness Club group. And their float consists of a truck with a flatbed trailer, and they've got, a dozen or so members walking along, throwing candy, just creating awareness about the Coon Rapids Lioness Club and what they do.
They serve the community and help others less fortunate. They strive to share their time, talent, resources, energy, and concern with others to make the community and the world a better place. And they say they have fun doing it.
Absolutely, and if you're interested in joining their group, you can just give them a call. 754-1815, that's a pretty easy number. And this next group is from the Minneapolis Aquatennial. Michael Misquick is the Vice Commodore. They also have the Junior Queen and the Princess.
And they're celebrating their 59th festival this July 17th through the 26th. They say it's the 10 best days of summer, and places as close as Minneapolis suburb. They go as far away as Osaka, Japan with their unit.
Oh, I'd love to go there. That's great.
Looks like we got some clowns coming up here.
They have carved a tree into the shape of a vehicle, and now they're driving it along and taking pictures cheap.
And they say that is not one of our cameras. Looks like the pictures are cheap, and cheap is spelt wrong, it looks like. But it doesn't, the crowd doesn't mind.
You can hear people just laughing hysterically with these people around.
And it looks like they have their own fire department.
Would you trust them responding to your house, Steve? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd be calling someone else. I'm not sure.
Well, the Aqua Jesters are sponsored by the Crystal Lions Club, and they attend so many parades throughout the summer. I'm sure we'll see them around town throughout the rest of the summer as well. And here comes trouble, Steve. It's the Vulcans.
Oh, the Vulcan crew. They're out in full force here.
They've got fire truck number 1, and the rest of the group seems to be walking, touching as many crowd members as possible with their black paint.
They do. Now, do you go home right away and wash that off, or do you leave it on for a certain amount of time?
You have to leave it on.
You do, okay.
Yeah. While you make your way down to Sand Creek Park and have a hot dog, and everyone will know you were at the parade. Well, the crowd's not resisting. They're okay with this Vulcan crew.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I'm thinking if you can't wash that off and have to go to sleep like that, hopefully you don't have white sheets.
It'll wash off.
Coming up right behind them, we have the Girl Scouts from the Mississippi Service Unit.
Uh-oh, Grandma's getting it, Steve.
She is.
Now their leader is Deb Anderson, and the girls range in age from 5 to 18, and some of the parents are marching along as well.
I'm sure the parents provide a lot of support for all these groups, taking them to activities, commuting them around.
That's right, and
Gotta
if
give
you
them a
have
lot of
a
credit.
young person, a daughter that you'd like to see in Girl Scouts or Brownies, sign up is always later in the fall, usually September, right after school reopens. So you can look for that this fall when your daughter returns to school. And some of the schools represented there, I saw Soderberg and Epiphany. And behind them is the Miss Coon Rapids Scholarship Pageant. And of course, this pageant is a scholarship pageant, so the girls not only win the scholarship, but also some other nice prizes as well. And then they also get the opportunity to participate in the Miss Minnesota competition.
Do a lot of help at the time for the pageant. In February is a pageant here in Coon Rapids. That's when our Miss Coon Rapids is usually crowned.
And we always tape that as well.
That's right. Catch it right here on CTN Channel 15. Looks like some of the umbrellas, Karen, have been put away. It's not raining any longer.
We're doing okay. Much to the relief of the unicycle team, I'm sure.
That's right. And they are coming up next here. Their director is Debbie Hall, and the unicycle team of Minnesota has been in existence for several years. The team includes members from age 7 to 17, with most riders being in elementary school. The team has performed successfully at many area parades, basketball halftimes, including the Minnesota Timberwolves and various other shows for churches, scouts, and schools. Now, the main purpose of their club is to develop good and positive values in young people. Learning the sport of unicycling takes hard work and persistence, which teaches a sense of teamwork and self-confidence. You wouldn't catch me out on one of those. I don't
Look at
a
the
little
age
difficult.
difference in those kids. That is just wonderful.
And look at how big some of the bikes are.
Yeah, up to 6-foot-high unicycles. 25 riders out there in the parade route today. And they say if you have a special event that you'd like them to perform at, they can tailor their performance to your needs. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, they look like they're having fun anyway.
Learning how to unicycle will teach you hard work and persistence, as well as teamwork and self-confidence.
Coming up right behind that is the Park River Estates Care Center vehicle. Now the King and Queen of Heart, Ed Hokinen and Blanche Berkland, the driver, and an activity staff member are all on board that.
Now the royalty is elected from the residents. One male and one female are chosen for the King and Queen of Hearts, and they've been doing this for a number of years. So that's kind of a nice thing to do at your place of residence there if you're at the Park River Estates Care Center. Oh, that's nice. They get to wave and have fun and ride in a cool car. Now, who are these ladies, Steve? Perhaps the National Preteen?
It's Miss Minnesota National Preteen 1998.
Alyssa Steele and Kelly Dennison are riding on that float.
Coming up right behind that is the Minnesota Park and Recreation. Anoka County Parks, actually, you're seeing right near there. County Commissioner Dave McCulley right there.
And Commissioner Dan Earhart's in the other vehicle.
He passed us a little earlier.
So they use the golf carts to get around the parks quicker, and therefore they can keep a handle on what's going on.
Keeping the park safe here throughout Anoka County. Right behind that, we have the Coon Rapids Park and Recreation Commission float.
And they are also taking the liberty of throwing candy. That's great. So that's Pete Yell and the other one, Tim Arnson.
Tim Arnson, you're correct.
The Coon Rapids VFW has chosen to put a float in this year's parade as well. This is post 9625. They're located on Coon Rapids Boulevard. And I see Jim Peterson up there. He's the president, or excuse me, the commander. And Lola Halseth is the auxiliary president. And they're also throwing candy, so they'll be a crowd favorite.
They will be, and I'm sure everyone will have a collection by the time they go home. Coming up next, we have the Columbia Heights Royalty and Float. The Columbia Heights Jamboree is a community-sponsored event usually celebrated the last full weekend in June, but dates for this year's event are scheduled June 24th through the 28th, which has already passed us here. They do have a June celebration. This will be the 64th anniversary of their celebration, and it is enjoyed by everyone taking part in the events from the parade and carnival through royalty events and coronations. Certainly all the communities across the Twin Cities and the state have celebrations this time of year.
That's right, Steve.
They're not all scheduled at the same time.
Oh, that's good.
So they're June through August. You can go to a lot of different ones throughout the year. Luann Koskinen is coming by here. Looks like she has some kids sitting in her truck.
Luann is our state representative, and she must be walking the parade route. I don't see
I was going to
her.
say I didn't see her, but I'm sure she's got to be here. KLBB Radio is following that. The promotions coordinator, Joe Lansky, is riding along. They're playing music and handing out candy and miscellaneous merchandise. And here's some clowns.
The
Looks
Lionel
like they've
Lakes
lost something.
Linus's clown group. Riding along in the back of that 1989 Ford pickup truck.
They seem to be a little bit confused. Not
All
quite
they
sure
need to
what's
know
going
is keep
on.
the candy coming. They say they've been doing this clowning around thing for 14 years.
The Miss Montesano royalty is coming up next.
They're under the direction of Amy Jackson, and there's 3 ladies in that vehicle. They are Sarah Weeder Grant, she's the queen. Crystal Bergman is the princess, and Monica Miller is also a princess. And the dates for the Monticello River Fest are July 11th and 12th.
Looks like they got that wave thing down.
Absolutely. And they've got a bunch of buttons on their sash. I don't suppose you can see that, but that, I would imagine, is all the parades and festivals that they've been to throughout their reign.
Looks like we have another band coming up. This will be the second band thus far in the parade.
They are the Southwest Junior High Marching Band from Forest Lake. And they're about to our camera shot, so I think we should just sit back and relax and enjoy this band.
And that is the Forest Lake Junior High School Marching Band, about 150 participants.
And they have had marching bands at the junior high level for the past 20 years, so that's dedication. Nice shot of the crowd here enjoying the parade. this evening. And as you said, Steve, the weather has broke. It's actually going to have the sun come out here for a few minutes.
It is, and they were here early lined up. I'm sure before I got here, about an hour before the parade, they were lined up in our area already taking their seats and getting great seats for this.
I spoke with our director, and he said 4:30. There's people out
4:30
here.
they
Yes.
did? Wow. 2 hours before parade time. But they want to make sure that they can get a seat. This is always a fun parade. Again, you're watching the Coon Rapids 4th of July parade right here on CTN Channel 15. I'm Steve Erickson along with Karen Savanich. And the weather seems to be holding out now. The rain has stopped, and I think it's going to turn into a beautiful night.
That's right, Steve. And after the parade, everybody's invited down to Sand Creek Park for an evening of fun, food, and frolic. And there's a band down there tonight, too. I wonder, do you know who that is? Or
I'm not sure. I know JB Layton is performing one night, and I forget the other group. But there's 2 bands down there this year.
And GB Layton's really good. I've seen them before. And they were there last year, too, actually, now that you mention it.
Right, and Thunder Canyon is the other group
Thank
that
you.
performs down there.
Looks like the Cardiac Center Wellness Project is coming up next, and this is a mobile sort of doctor's office on wheels. They'll pull into a fair or a festival, and people can come inside and have their blood pressure checked and find out what's going on with their health and pick up some free stuff while they're in there, too. They give out free shoelaces, and I've gotten mine. Have you gotten yours?
No, I haven't gotten any yet, but this is usually down at Sand Creek Park during the 4th of July. They're usually doing screenings down there, and it's a partnership between the Lions, Mercy, and Unity Hospitals, and as you said, they provide free screenings of total cholesterol, blood glucose, and blood pressure measurement at Lions events, which the 4th of July celebration is one of those.
And I'm sure they'll be at the Anoka County Fair this year again as well. And the funds for this were donated in partially by the Lions Club.
They're always out there donating. They're a big part of our community, and a lot of organizations thank them for their donations.
So the Lions Club and the firefighters are really the ones that put on this parade then.
That's right. It's in conjunction with those two. The Crystal Frolics royalty coming up.
Jan Thonander is the Queen's coordinator. The Queen is Nikki Davis. The Princess is Megan Shosted and Annette Bayer. And their celebration is coming up, Steve, July 24th through the 26th. They have some awards with this unit as well, including the Aquatennial Queens Award. So they must have participated in that parade.
A lot of work goes into making these floats. They put a lot of detail into them.
And you can always tell it's a float going down the road because they've got the big tarp covering everything.
You want to protect that thing in Minnesota weather. You don't know what it'll be doing from minute to minute.
That's right. And they've got their waves synchronized. Hey, that's pretty good. So just 3 weeks away is the Crystal Frolics celebration, and they invite everybody on over to enjoy with them.
Coming up next, we have the Hudson Belle II miniature paddle wheel boat, representing the river town of Hudson, Wisconsin. During the 1850s and 1860s, Hudson grew rapidly as a steamboat and lumber center. Today, sailboats, rather than steamboats, cruise the St. Croix River. Now, the Hudson Belle has many authentic working parts. Electricity provides lighting inside the windows and powers the gears that turn the paddle wheel at the boat's stern. Added features are music, steamboat whistles, and actual smoke emitted from the smokestack.
Can't really see it on the top of the screen, but there is smoke coming out of those two front smokestacks.
It is. It's kind of blending in there with the white Hudson, Wisconsin on the top.
Now seated on the Hudson Belle II is Miss Hudson, and her name is Peggy Swersick. Princesses are Reagan Riddle and Amy Grossnickel. Miss Congeniality is Nikki Beavers. And they want to invite everybody to Hudson for the annual Booster Days, and that's going on this weekend, as well as the Coon Rapids Festival. July 2nd through the 5th are the dates.
There's a better shot of the smoke. Coming up next is the Animal Inn drill team.
If you have an animal at home that's not exactly trained the way you'd like to, why not check out the Animal Inn?
That's right.
Now this is a dog obedience demonstration team, and they're made up of volunteers of all ages and different types of dogs as well. Now they offer training at Lake Elmo, Egan, and Golden Valley. And as you can see, it's many different breeds, including mixed breeds. They've been doing this parade kind of thing for many years. And they also do a lot of demonstrations at public service events, such as the University of Minnesota Veterinary Open House, the Midwest Pet Fair, and the Minnesota State Fair. So I'm sure we'll see these people all around this summer.
I'm sure we will, and there's got to be a dog that at least everyone likes out there. There's such a variety.
Oh, look at the crowd just petting those Cocker Spaniels. Oh, she found a friend.
I don't know if she's gonna come back.
She's not shy, is she?
Physically have to pick her up and move her on down the parade route.
Temperament's good. Obedience a little needs to be worked on there.
Yeah, and they're getting closer to the end of the parade route as they pass us here, so might be a little tired from the route.
That's right. They've spent the whole last half a mile being good. Oh, that one looks thirsty.
They usually do have people that come around and
you can do jumps.
give the animals water.
Is that Chocolate Lab? And Phil Rustad is the leader of this group when they go out to the parade, so he's definitely done a good job. Their only requirement is you do not put them near a siren or a band.
I probably don't work well in that kind of environment.
Some more royalty coming up. This time it's from Dassel.
That's right, and the history of Dassel, the event had its beginnings on the Sunday of Labor Day weekend in 1959 at the Dassel Baseball Park. On the first year, there were 500 servings of chicken sold. Picnic tables were placed out on the field where everyone ate. So it looks like they have a barbecue in combination with this thing. And it requires over 200 volunteers to completely put on the event. And that's what's made the event possible, a lot of volunteers.
And look at their statistics here. They can serve 1,000 servings at one time. Every year they use 3 tons of charcoal and 200 gallons of special spray, which they use on the chickens.
Wouldn't you like to be the cook for that?
Oh yes, and 200 volunteers are needed. Red Rooster Days is Labor Day weekend, so you can still check that out later this year. Princess Christina Reinke and the Queen April Danielson.
Looks like Charlie Weaver is approaching us here, giving us a thumbs up.
See ya. Thank you.
Talks about loving to be here in Coon Rapids. Now, Charlie Weaver is a 5-term state representative from the Anoka area. His district includes Coon Rapids. In addition, Charlie has been a prosecutor in the Anoka County Attorney's Office since 1991. He is an Anoka County native, and he is now running for the Attorney General seat and is the Republican-endorsed candidate for that office.
And his 2 main platforms include gangs and youth crime. So those are the 2 areas he says it's going to get tough on.
Everybody putting on a show for the camera here. Coming up next, it looks like it's the Anoka Halloween Capital of the World float.
That's right, Stephen. Heidi Wells is the royalty chairperson in charge of this float. And on the float today, we have Miss Anoka, Christine Weber. Princesses are Lisa Lloyd, Alicia Ayala, and let's see, we do have a Miss Congeniality. I'm going to have to wait till she gets a little closer.
I told the witch doctor I was in love with
Denise Hartley.
I told the witch doctor I was in love with
Good music.
The Anoka Halloween celebration is in its 78th year this year, and of course the big parade will be on October 24th, and the dates of the celebration are October 24th through the 31st.
Coming up next, there are the Metro Marines. Their director is Jason Bausman. It's a 135-member group, and it is 4.5 years old.
Members of the U.S. Marine Corps are holding the color guard, and the other people are carrying banners. They've also brought a 5-ton truck with them, and all of the people are Marine veterans. The Northeast Metro Royalty is coming up next. Faith Peterson is their person in charge. They're riding in a 1971 Cadillac Eldorado convertible. And the three ladies on the float are Misty Engler, she's the queen. Heather Brubaker and Nancy Worm are the princesses.
Coming up next, we have the Grossline Beverages truck. Now this thing is an old-time delivery truck, 1919 Model T.
Driver is Dave Larkin. And this truck was used to deliver soft drinks and near beer during the Prohibition era between 1919 and 1933.
The umbrellas are coming out again, as you can see on your screen. We're starting to see some more rain out here. But that's not stopping the parade. It continues here with the Annandale Royalty.
Sherry Milner is their director. On the float, we have Queen Abby Jude. The princesses are Melissa Engelman and Molly Smith. And they also have a 4th of July-based celebration.
Just behind them are the Albertville Royalty.
Brittany Burning and Paige Lundeen are the junior princesses. Eric Johnson, Alex Gillick are the junior commodores. Diane Bartel and Jamie Delaware are the princesses. And I missed Miss Albertville. I apologize for that. And their celebration has just passed. It was June 11th through the 13th.
And following them is the Anoka County Community Action Head Start program. Jacqueline Cross is their director. And we have some staff, children, and parents of the children out here tonight at the parade. Head Start is a well-rounded educational experience for families with children pre-birth to 5 years of age, and it is a free program to income-eligible families. And they have recently done an expansion program here in Coon Rapids, which is going to open this fall. They've added on out there so they can start accepting some more people.
That's right. They've actually decided to go with infants. So we've got, normally it's 3 and up, and now it's going from infants to age 3 as well. The Northeast Minneapolis Royalty Float is coming up next.
Looks like Miss Northeast Queen Daniel Radulovich. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Princess Jessica Colin, Princess Patty
BB.
Maybe you should go on with these names.
Emily Mansker is the junior queen. Logan Mansky is the junior commodore. Elizabeth Sigler is the junior princess, and Nick Roden is the junior vice commodore. And you can celebrate in Northeast Minneapolis between July 27th and 31st. And Steve, their theme is See Northeast, See the World.
They have a beautiful float.
And after them, you're seeing the Jerry Newton float.
That's right, Jerry Newton is the Ward 2 council member for the city of Coon Rapids, and he is running for the state legislature 49A seat this fall. Now in the boat are Jerry's kids, Sophia and Kimball, and their friends Sammy, David, Jenny, Michael, and James. It's a full house. Their parents are supporting Jerry in his campaign for the state legislature. Driving the truck is Doug Sherlock. Now the theme is that Jerry Newton is a good catch for the voters in District 49A. So if you are fishing for a new leader, cast your ballot for Jerry Newton, they say. And as you can see, Jerry's there, shaking hands with the crowd.
That's a neat theme if you're fishing for new leadership.
That's right. Got to be creative.
That's right. Some more politically active people coming up behind him.
It's like Skip Humphrey.
This is the Humphrey Moe ticket for governor and lieutenant governor, and as it turns out, we have both Roger Moe and Skip Humphrey working the crowd tonight.
That's right. They are joining Jerry in tonight's parade. Of course, Humphrey is one of the candidates running for governor this fall. Have a big election coming up.
That's right, Steve. With the primary, we're going to have the, how many people so far have announced? 5 for governor?
I'm not quite sure.
I think we have 2 endorsed and 3 others. So that's...
Of course, the primary will narrow that all down to 2 candidates for each party, and those members and names will go on the ballot come November.
And you're looking at the Sons of Norway Lodge, and the Norwegian heritage seems to be one of those where they just always keep in touch. They are very big into genealogy, and these lodges have hundreds of members, and there's different lodges all over the state. So it's a really neat group. And this particular lodge has 280 members, mostly from the Anoka and Coon Rapids surrounding areas. They do have general membership meetings if you're interested in the Sons of Norway.
That's Lonnie McCulley. She is a candidate. She is going to be filing for the mayor's seat here in Coon Rapids coming up.
Lonnie is a volunteer with the Northern Stars Ball as well, so she does a lot for our community. The Captain Hot Tub Party Rental
Looks
vehicle.
scary. Now this is new to this year. This is one of the new floats, and they are getting people a little bit wet. But you know what? People have their umbrellas, so they're fighting back.
They have super soakers with them. So I guess if you want to rent a hot tub for your next party, you can call the captain. Some more royalty coming up. This is the South St. Paul royalty, Sarah Oftdahl and Jessica Medina. They're not scared of a little rain, Steve.
No, they're not.
Now their celebration was just past June 26th through the 28th, and that was in its 23rd year.
Looks like the Champlin Park Marching Rebels are approaching our stand here. They're comprised of 180 volunteer members, grades 9 through 12. The Marching Rebels rehearse outside of the school day and perform in 9 parades this past summer, as well as numerous parades and field shows this fall. Now they have received recent honors, grand champions in the 1996 National Holiday Bowl Parade in San Diego, second place in the 1996 National Holiday Bowl Field Show, and of course common grand champions in the Anoka Halloween Parade 1992 through 1996. The Rebels are directed by Steve Lyons and Jay Mutazik. The color guard is instructed by Rob Thomas and Emily Merriman. The percussion section is instructed by Jay Matuzik and Angie Frisch. Visual staff is Nick Cruz and Patrick Barnes.
And their theme this year, Steve, is from Titanic.
Who would have thought? These
I've seen
parades
him-
coming in the summer after Titanic.
I've seen him perform this. It's very good.
That's right. Let's take a listen to them right now. The Champlin Park Marching Rebels. And there you have it, the Champlain Park Marching Rebels, and you can see why they have won so many awards.
That's right, Steve. They do a great show. And of course, it wouldn't be a band without the support vehicle.
Just wanted to let you know that you can catch CR News right here on CTN Channel 15 in Coon Rapids, daily at 7 a.m., noon, 7 p.m., and 11 p.m. Stay updated on what's happening in your neighborhood. A lot of stories, building progress reports, breaking news, a lot of stuff to watch for. So tune in and watch CR News.
And I think that we have the entire Champlain Park cheering section right next to us here, Steve.
I think we do. They got a good round of applause and standing ovation, but
That's right.
standing room only here over here. So
Coming up next, it's the City of Woodbury float. Amy Vasquez is the parade coordinator for them, and their float is towed by a city vehicle. It holds Miss Woodbury, 2 princesses, and the little Miss Woodbury and her 2 princesses. I know I've seen this float at some other parades this summer, so they make it a point to get out and have some fun.
saw some of those people eating the candy there that they've been throwing. Of course, can't wait till you get home. You gotta eat it out here.
It's more fun that way.
That's right. The Walker Plaza van is coming up next.
Walker Plaza is located in Anoka, and the residents who live there are the ones riding inside the van, so I'm sure they're having fun. This is a retirement community. They also have 15 assisted living units. Following them, it's the Fancy Dancing Group from Coon Rapids.
That's right. Tapping their feet out here on the parade route. Bobby Guerin is their director or leader. Now they are first place national winners in dance. They've done 8 years of instruction, tap, jazz, ballet, clogging, and tumbling. Now classes begin in the fall. You can sign up. Registration is the 3rd week in August.
And it looks like the young people have a nice range in age, so that's a plus. They're having fun.
As well as the parents are having fun just as much as the kids. Once again, you're watching the Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade here on CTN Channel 15. Takes place on Northdale Boulevard, and he's having a little bit of fun out here at the parade this year. That's right, he does have moves.
Don Betzold is the candidate there. You can see walking on the parade route. The rain has picked up a little bit more here. We are nearing the end of the parade though, so it shouldn't be too much longer. This is a combined float with the Freeman Johnson party running for governor, and then Don Betzold is running for state senate, and Leo Foley is also running for state senate.
YMCA, doesn't just want to have you get off your chair and do the YMCA here.
Go for it, Steve.
No, I'll pass. But I'm sure some of the members of the crowd here will be doing that shortly.
Well, they picked some good music. Thank you. Hello.
Hi. John Klein for Congress follows that unit. They've got their truck here decorated in the American flag, many of them. John and his wife Vicki and a few of his many volunteers are on board.
It says here John brings with him experience as a retired Marine Corps colonel. He lives in Lakeville. And he's a combat veteran from Vietnam and Somalia. He's also worked at the White House and the Pentagon.
That's right, and they're handing out literature here to the crowd. Start that campaigning. New Brighton Ambassadors 1998 are coming into our screen right now.
The New Brighton celebration is known as Stockyard Days because way back when, that used to be the home to the Stockyards. Of course, now they've moved to South St. Paul, but New Brighton still keeps that theme, and you can catch their celebration between August 19th and 23rd. They have won some awards also with their float, including the St. Paul Vulcan Winter Carnival Award. And they keep that Western theme going. And the royalty on today's float, Miss New Brighton is Heather Emerson. Princesses are Heidi Hall and Renee Vargas. The junior queen is Kayla Hillbeck. Junior Commodore Jason Sandquist. Junior Princess Danielle Norgren. And Junior Vice Commodore Glenn Senecal.
The Hamburglar is approaching us now, popping out of the center of that hamburger, of course, from McDonald's. And this is the Foley Boulevard location. They've been in the last 2 4th of July parades. And a side note on this one is that the McDonald's, which is located on Foley, which this is out of, is going to be torn down, and they are going to rebuild that, and it'll include a playland when that's all done.
So that'll be great.
Not quite sure of the timeline on construction of that, but people can look forward to that. It's not going to be moving when you see it torn down. They're going to rebuild right at Foley Boulevard, where they've been for many years now.
I'm glad you're here, Steve, to keep us updated on all this development news.
Coming up next is the Northeast Bank float. Guess not a float, a vehicle with the message on. They've got some people following.
And their job today is to pass out candy and some storybooks. Sue Josilius is the vice president of marketing, and she's in charge of getting these people in the parade.
You know, you don't even need to eat dinner before you come out to the parade. I'm sure these people are going to be full by the end. And then they'll head down to the park, have some more food, listen to a little entertainment, play some games, go on some rides. It's a lot of fun out here for the 4th of July. Coming up next is the Air Force Reserve.
They were established way back in 1948.
That's right. This is the 934th Airlift Wing Air Force Reserve. This year, the Air Force Reserve is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Through 2 world wars, Korea, Vietnam, the Cold War, and Desert Storm, the United States has preserved the peace and helped defend democracy through air superiority. The United States Air Force Reserve of tomorrow is ready today with technologically advanced equipment and highly trained and skilled people. The Air Force Reserve, it's a great way to serve.
And following them is the Minnesota Cadets Junior Drum and Bugle Corps. Dan Kancerowick is the leader of this group, and they are Marching Drum and Bugle Corps. It says here they participate in many parades throughout the summer.
And they say they present you the new Minnesota Cadet Junior Drum and Bugle Corps. You have known them before as the North Metro Cadets. Their winter drumline took regional champs and 6th place in winter competition in nationals. They're co-sponsored by the Coon Rapids Lions, as well as American Legion and by other area businesses. The ages of the Corps members are 13 to 21 years. They're always looking for new members. They're under the direction of Robert Pilot and Drum Major Jill Satak. The cadets would like to thank their parent booster group, whose hard work and famous slogan, "We are doing this for the kids," has brought them to where they are today. So they say, sit back and enjoy a song from the past Chicago's 25 or 64. Minnesota Cadet Junior Drum and Bugle Corps.
The group from Camellia Rose is coming up next. They have one of their vans in the parade route today. And Camellia Rose was recently honored with the James B. Swanson Award of Excellence. They've been serving seniors in our community for over 21 years.
Coming up next is Colleen Grabber for State Representative.
Correction, Steve, this would be the First Baptist Church of Coon Rapids float.
Somebody didn't line up right. Looks like there's a bunch of kids riding on the back here. Got something to drink, and they're singing for the crowd.
Looks like they do offer some daycare services. If you have a need for that, you can certainly look them up. First Baptist Church of Coon Rapids. Looks like those kids are having fun.
There, now I have proof. Colleen Grabber for State Representative is coming. I knew she'd be here.
Jerry Erickson is the campaign manager for her. She's running for state rep in District 49B.
I wonder how many stickers and literature you go home with from a parade as well here. We've seen many people running for offices here in the parade.
That's right, Steve. There's no shortage of stickers.
Certainly not. Coming up are the Fridley 49er Days float.
Carol Hoybe is their parade coordinator, and they have a very nice float as well. The new Miss Fridley and her princesses were just recently crowned in June. Their celebration dates were June 11th through the 14th. In the past, they've taken third place in the Columbia Heights Parade.
And look at that giant teddy bear she's holding.
Oh, that's great. Well, they were smart. They brought their umbrella.
That's right.
Coming up in 1999, they'll be celebrating their 50th year of Friendly Fridley Days.
A unit from Shorty's Towing is coming up next.
I believe I have that, Steve, and this would be called the Bowl.
All right.
This is a big tow truck. Brian Bolander is driving that today.
And it looks like we have some bikers coming up from Rabines Arena. There's a total of 15 to 25 bikers out here doing a lot of stunts. Opening the umbrella because it's still raining out here.
Now these folks have been hanging around since about 5 o'clock, just riding their bikes, having fun. That's a good, clean sport. And now with the X Games, I don't know if you saw that, but they had the bikes up there on the ramps. Oh, that was so cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What channel?
Looks like the water on the pavement hasn't slowed them down.
Guess what? I'm a
Coming up next is the Oak Grove Tanker 3 truck from where else? Oak Grove. Founded in 1980, started with 2 trucks, and now they have 8 trucks. The oldest one is 1999, and they now have a fire rating of 7, which is good for no fire hydrants.
The 7 means that because of their vehicles, they receive a lower insurance cost.
Thanks for helping us understand that a
They
little
are
bit better.
prepared. Well, that's nice. They take time out to come to Coon Rapids and participate in our parade. We didn't mention the support vehicle for the Rabines BMX team is also part of Flex Bike Shop. They're located right here in Coon Rapids, so I guess it's a joint effort between those two. That's right, Steve. I see that you have the conversations graphic on your screen, and that is the show that we do once a month where we meet interesting people from our community. And as you can see, Dick Isaacson, Tom McCarthy, and Lou Peterson can all be seen this month on Conversations.
Always interesting to see what people are up to in the community. We have a lot of unique individuals in this community that do a lot of various things.
That's right, Stephen. Just earlier today, somebody had made a suggestion of another interesting person I should interview, and I'm going to keep that a secret because they may be on next month.
We'll have to watch for that. We're going to have to tune in August for that.
That's right.
Coming up next is the Wyatt truck.
And I believe I have that information here, Steve. Wyatt Ready Mix was purchased by the Semstone Company back in August of '88. They employ approximately 300 people throughout Minnesota and Wisconsin. And the Semstone Company was actually established way back in 1927. Today the truck is being driven by Dave Shrunk and his son Dan. And the Wyatt Ready Mix Company has been serving our area since 1951.
Wouldn't want to get in front of that on the roadway.
And to them, their customers are number one.
Coming up next are the Rockford River Days float. There are 4 royalty, and their celebration dates are August 7th, 8th, and 9th, and are Rockford River Days.
So still time to make it out to Rockford. Coming up in August, Barb Nelson is the royalty chaperone for this float.
Seems like there's something to do every weekend in the summer. If it ain't a festival, it's something else.
Oh, these girls are smart. They got their rain ponchos out. Anna Anderson is the queen. Amy Schmidt, Christine Nelson are the princesses, and Miss Congeniality was Arisha Larson.
And we got the Top Chops group coming into our screen now. Now, Top Chops were established in 1994. They're under the direction of professional musician Greg Heinecker. The coordinating staff consists of well-rounded, experienced, and talented instructors, some of whom have marched in top drum and bugle corps. And I think we'll let you hear them now. And that was the Top Chops brass line. The wailing group of 30-plus horn players is the first to do what many thought could not be done, a marching brass ensemble without the accompaniment of percussion. Top Chops features some of the region's finest brass soloists.
They're having fun. The rain's coming down a little bit harder now, but they don't seem to mind.
It is a little bit, almost umbrella. I wonder if that's good for those instruments to be out here in the rain.
Is it good for our instruments?
Yeah, our equipment probably not either. As long as I don't see lightning, I'll stay here and announce this parade, but as soon as we see that lightning come, we're taking cover.
We're actually nearing the end of the parade route, Steve.
That's right, so we've almost made it.
You're a trooper.
Coming up next is Tim Howe. He is running for state legislator 49A seat, the same seat that council member Ward 2 Jerry Newton is running for this fall. His wife Susan is on board with him. The driver and the navigator are Mike and Deb Allen, campaign treasurers for Tim's candidacy. Remember to vote in the primary September 15th, they tell us. And they want to thank their principal campaign committee members, Tom and Denise Clint, Tim and Bonnie Artson, Mike and Deb Allen, and Tim Howe wants to thank his wife, Susan. I'm sure she does a lot of work to help out in the candidacy.
That's nice she's out there supporting him, too.
Tim Howe's family lives here in Coon Rapids. They have 2 sons.
And coming up next is the Anoka County Civil Air Patrol. Today they're going with the theme that it's an aerospace youth group. Jim Moan is a major, and he's the squadron commander.
Looks
And
like we have
after
another
them, Steve,
float
who's
coming
that?
up. We have another float. Is that from North Hudson, maybe?
North Hudson
Pepperfest.
Pepperfest.
Becky Lakeset is their director. Their celebration dates are August 14th, 15th, and 16th. They invite you to come out to the 1998 North Pepper Festival as they sit in a garden on pepper thrones surrounded by Princess Holly, Lauren, and Terry. The king and queen, that is, invite you out.
And the Pepper Fest celebrates a strong Italian heritage with their 3-day festival, which also will raise money for the community. And this all began way back in 1940 when they wanted to raise money to build an elementary school.
Miss St. Francis, Pioneer Days in the Park. That unit is approaching us here. Pioneer Days has been celebrated for 33 days, and that is past June 12th through the 14th, so if you missed it this year, you can catch it next June. This is their first year with their float.
That's right, and they say they chose the gazebo, which you see, because of their park's natural historical site. And the queen, let's see here, do I have their name? Little Miss is Brianna Brasted, Miss Congeniality, Nicole Deno, Miss St. Francis is Lisa Doubt, and Cassie Norgard is her princess.
Coming up next are the Chopstick Percussion Band. Chops is comprised of 2 award-winning groups, the Chopstick Percussion and the Top Chops Brass Line. The 2 groups perform separately, giving special attention to percussion and brass, and together for a powerful driving experience. Now, Chopstick was founded in 1991 by Mike Mayer and is under his direction. This 35-member marching drum line provides high-energy street entertainment by combining flashy drill and visuals with precision playing. Members come from communities throughout the Twin Cities area and southern Minnesota. Chopsticks has performed as the featured unit for Drum Corps Midwest Championships in Dupleix, Illinois, and preview of Champions Division 2 and 3 in Michigan, which highlighted some of the top corps in the world. Let's take a listen.
Now check this out. Chopsticks rule!
Oh yeah.
Bye!
Well, Steve, they certainly live up to their title of having a flashy drill team with exciting visuals, which they certainly provide.
Looks like they have a lot of fun. Coming up next is the Anoka County Sheriff, Larry Padani.
The sheriff is riding with his wife, and I'm sorry I don't have her name, but they are riding in that vehicle which was seized through a drug operation, and now they use it for parades and outreach. Hi, Sheriff. He's waving at you, Steve.
Might as well have someone enjoy that vehicle, right?
That's right.
Right behind that is the Anoka County Sheriff boat. They use that for rescue operations and to patrol area lakes here in the county to keep them safe and make sure everyone's in check with what they're supposed to be doing out there on the water.
Well, that's very nice that they hung around for the tail end of the parade here.
Yeah, it must be kind of tough being in the end of the parade because you don't get started right in the beginning and then you're the last ones back into the park. But again, everyone is headed back down to Sand Creek Park after this. I'm sure many of them staying as long as the weather holds out. It's raining a little bit still, but they'll be down there having a lot of fun tonight.
That's Wayne Thompson. He's the director of the Anoka County Park Rangers, and he is on a horse there. You can see that's a very popular thing with the youngsters, and they use the horses mainly down at the Coon Rapids Dam Park area.
Beautiful
Hey,
horse.
this is Karen Svanich. Invite.
So in addition to the horseback mounted patrol, they also have the golf carts and regular vehicles as well.
And as you can see, people are beginning to disperse from the parade. It looks like that is going to bring the end to the end of this parade. As you can see, the Coon Rapids Police Department is pulling up at the back of the parade, of course, providing some security there. They do a lot of hard work. They have to close off the road ahead of time, keep everyone, make sure all the vehicles are out of here in preparation for the parade. So got to give them a lot of credit as well.
That's right, and the Lions Club, the fire department, the police department, they've obviously done a great job again this year, Steve. I know I've enjoyed it.
Yes, I have too. Couldn't have done it without those groups, and of course the big crowds that came out for this. It's a little soggy right now, but everyone is probably headed into their vehicles or down to the park, at least to have a little bit of fun in the rain. But the parade has been great.
That's right, Steve, and I want to thank you for being here with me today. And, everyone in the truck, I know we have the 3 camera operators.
A lot of people to bring you this program here on CTN. That's going to do it for the 1998 Coon Rapids 4th of July Parade. For Karen Savanich, I'm Steve Erickson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here again next year.